All right, people, this is the JT Sports Show episode. I do not know. The Vikings just got humbled in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field. Jackson Bourse is here with me to recap what just happened in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts got whatever he wanted all game. Kirk Cousins throws 3 interceptions. The Vikings had numerous opportunities to be in this game, and they fumbled every one of them. Not literally fumbled, but they just didn't do what they had to do. The defense was absolutely miserable. Whenever the Eagles wanted to do anything, all they had to do was throw a little hitch route 15 yards down the field, and the Vikings defense was 5 yards behind him every time. Ed Donatel had a horrible game. The Vikings defensive coordinator is going to have to make big adjustments. Cameron Dantzler actually was okay, besides that one play that we texted about early in the game. He actually made a few splash plays. Patrick Peterson was bad. There was that one play they showed on replay. Do you remember this play?
Dantzler wasn't good. I had Dantzler as one of the 5 worst players of the game.
Well, he had one drive where he was phenomenal. He had one drive where he was doing everything. But do you know that Patrick Peterson play where he got turned around, stumbled? That was the story of this game. Borsty, what is the number one thing that comes to mind after watching this game that we were both looking forward to for over a week?
Yeah, for over a week. Yeah, thanks, Tuck, for having me. Well, the first half, it was the defense being dog shit. And then the second half, it was the offense being horrible. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but it reminded me of a Zimmer game where they were never really aligned. You know, the defense would be playing well and the offense would suck, then the offense would be playing well and the defense would suck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought Kirk was really, really bad in the second half. He was getting pressured very heavily. I am very disappointed in the defense and Ed Donatel. They had no answer for Jalen Hurts. They didn't make any adjustments.
They made no adjustments. Like what? At least do something.
Yeah, right. I, however, am already over that game. It was just a complete joke. It was Monday night in Philadelphia, one of the most hostile environments in the NFL. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. I mean, it was their home opener. They're going to be jacked to play. I mean, the Vikings have a favorable schedule, but that's a horrible game to have to play. Week 2, home opener, Monday night. I mean, come on. That's why everyone should take a little bit of a chill pill. But also, we should also calm down a little bit with our expectations on this team. Like, we're not going to go 17-0. But that being said, I am watching this game. I'm not concerned. Adjustments will be made. I think Phillies has a really, really good team. I think that this is my prediction. I think that will be our only loss until, I want to say, week. I'm pulling up the schedule.
All right. While you pull up the schedule, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I think that will be our only loss until we play. Yeah, I think that'll be our only loss until we play the Bills. I think that we will go 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. Yeah, I think we'll be 7-1 playing the Bills, and I'm not kidding.
I like the optimism. I think
this is our hardest game of the season. I mean, seriously.
No, that Bills game is going to be the hardest game. That Bills game is easily the hardest.
The Bills.
The Bills are the best team in the league.
Yes, the Bills. But other than that, this was our hardest game of the season.
Yeah, Monday it's night, just
home opener in Philly.
It's tough. It is tough. But you're saying you're just going to wash this one away, sort of drain it. I'm sure that's what Kevin O'Connell's probably going to say. But realistically, that's a horrible loss. And other teams are going to see what they just did to the Vikings, and they're going to try to do that. Yeah. Darius Slay had a great game. I'm not sure a lot of other corners can do what he just did in that game. But Ed Donatel not making any adjustments is extremely concerning, because does he just not want to make adjustments? Like that, it clearly wasn't working. The second half, the Eagles, if they wanted to, now I understand they scored 0 points. If they wanted to, they could have put up 45 tonight. They just could have. Nothing changed. Even in the second half, when they did throw it, because they weren't throwing it much, they still got what they wanted in the passing game. And so therefore, that Ed Donatel really made no adjustments. The offense was bad the entire game. Say what you want. Irv Smith, if that
Bad.
catch was caught,
That was
probably a
the
different game.
turning point of the game. If he catches that, I think it's a completely different game. What a horrible, horrible, horrible drop.
There were numerous drops. Tell me about Dalvin Cook not being able to freaking catch a wide open ball.
Horrible? How about him just being just bad?
I don't know if I told you this before the season. Maybe I did, but I thought Dalvin Cook would take a step back this year.
I think you did tell me that.
Mainly because first of all, I don't think he's going to get as many touches in a more pass-heavy offense. I'm not sure he's a great pass catcher. Now he's shown spurts over the years, but tonight proved that he literally can't catch the ball half of the time.
We were texting during this sequence, but it was in the second quarter, and it was before the Eagles went up by, I think, 14. I think it was 14-7. We had it, and we just had a good gain on first down. I think it was 2nd and 3.
Yep,
he gets the handoff and he slips.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that, and then what happens? Then it's a loss.
Then they they did it twice tonight. These over routes or whatever the hell they're called with Irv Smith, and the linebacker just jumps it like Irv Smith.
See, but that's what I'm talking about. See, that's a killer. He needs to start playing better. I mean, he's not getting that many touches. So like the touches he does get, he better frickin' bring it.
Yeah.
And not slip. I mean, oddly, like I thought that was like kind of a sign on where things were going in that game. I texted you. I was like, Dalvin needs to show up.
Yeah, I said it too. I think
2 yards.
If this offensive line is not what we thought it would be. 2 games now.
Yeah.
If you look statistically, now I thought just visually that last week the offensive line did a decent job. Statistically, they were like top 5 in most pressure or the pressure percentage. And this week it was even worse. Like you have to be able to run the ball to keep the defensive line honest. And coming into this game, I thought the Eagles' defensive line wasn't great. They didn't get to Jared Goff much last week. Fletcher Cox is like 50 years old. I don't know who else is on that line, but a bunch of no-namers that tonight got to Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins, when he's under pressure, we all know, is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. When he has time, one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to be...
I
am a huge Kirk defender, but isn't every quarterback terrible under pressure other than like Deshaun Watson and, I don't know, Lamar?
No, like Aaron Rodgers knows how to manipulate the pocket. Tom Brady knows how to manipulate the pocket.
Mahomes sucks under pressure.
Yeah, he can move a little bit, though. Kirk can't do anything. Kirk can't do anything. Yeah, I mean, that's one game. Yeah.
I'm just saying. What about Joe Burrow? How bad has he been? Look at his O-line.
Well, look what he did last year. His O-line was even, awful.
Well,
no, his O-line was even, the reason they actually tried to bring in more people this year for the Bengals offensive line, but it was bad last year, and they got to the Super Bowl. So
I'm just pissed off because now, like on Twitter, it's going to be the Vikings suck, and they're going to be back in the power rankings to 18, 19, 20. And I hate seeing that.
It's unfortunate, but all you got to do is now go win 7 in a row, like you said, and they'll be back into what people think the Vikings, that we think the Vikings can do. Your thoughts on Kevin O'Connell in this game?
I thought he had an excellent play call on the touchdown to Irv. That was money. I didn't love his play calling. It didn't matter at that point, really, but it was Kirk's second interception. I mean, 3 shotgun plays in a row where the blitzes were just coming. I think that he could have maybe countered with something a little different where, I don't know, maybe they line up in the eye and maybe like did some play action. I don't know.
It's like when the defense knows they're just passing. The Vikings,
exactly. That's what
he can change there is not have 6 guys go out for a pass and have 4 offensive linemen trying to guard 7 people coming in. Like you need a little bit more help, and then Kirk just drops back, backpedaling, and throws 2 horrible passes that Darius Slay caught. The first interception was on Justin Jefferson. The second 2, right before the second interception, Troy Aikman pointed out, I think it was a screen over to the left, that might have gotten
he was wide
dropped.
open.
Justin Jefferson was wide open.
He was wide open.
Mean,
no,
you
that
have to hit that.
I think that is the number one play that I'm most mad at Kirk at tonight. The play is designed to get it to Jefferson, and he was wide open, and he still panicked and went to Dalvin. It's like if you're gonna
I don't know if it was.
Yes, it was. That's
no,
what
I
Aikman
think it was
said.
a
He said,
designed screen.
No. He said the Justin Jefferson's coming around, and he said the play is designed so that he finds Jefferson on the edge.
I don't think so. I'd be interested in hearing what Kevin O'Connell would have to say about that. I doubt he's going to ask about that play. But it looked like a designed screen because Kirk just like subtly looked to the right just to like get the defense, and then like the whole offensive line was blocking for the running back. It ended up being a horrible screen pass, but I think that was a screen pass. I think it was a designed screen. Who knows? That's just one play of the many bad ones.
What?
I just said that was one play of the many bad plays.
Yeah.
So, the defense, we talked about it a little bit, but I said to you coming into the game that I was nervous. I was hopeful, but because of what they did last week, but I was not confident because I know there are holes.
I really came to regret my text to you where I said I'm confident. I'm confident in the defense. Oh man,
the D line had no pressure on Hurts all night. Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter are supposed to be these two phenomenal edge rushers. Jalen Hurts wasn't. He might have been sacked like twice, but that was more just of him running and like getting stopped behind the line. There was one sack. DJ Wanham had that one sack. He might have been sacked more if I actually look at it, but for the most part, Jalen Hurts had all the time he wanted tonight, and Kirk Cousins didn't. That's a big. That's the line of scrimmage was easily won by the Eagles.
The Eagles just looked good.
We made them look good.
Okay, well,
their defense looked really good, and I think that was big. Their offense, our defense made them look good.
I agree. I almost think that their defense is more impressive than their offense.
Oh, yeah. In my opinion, it is. Yeah. I mean, they stopped Justin Jefferson. They held Adam Thielen. Herb Smith didn't do much. KJ didn't do much. Nobody did much. Literally nobody. Dalvin Cook didn't do anything. So, yeah, their defense was almost more impressive than their offense because their offense just did what the Vikings defense gave them, which was everything.
Well, I mean, so you'd think that teams would try to take Cooper Kupp away, right? Last year. How did he continue to get yards?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe a question I don't have the answer to. I mean, I don't know. I think JJ is more talented than Cooper Kupp.
Well, yeah, but my point is I'm pretty sure Cooper Kupp's lowest receiving total last year was around 60. And what was Jefferson at 48?
48.
So, I mean, let's hope that this was his worst game of the year. I'm sure it will be. Let's go for another optimistic prediction. I don't think he has another game this year where he is under 75 yards.
All right. Yeah.
I think he's going to get to 2,000 yards.
Dalvin Cook had 6 carries. 6.
And that seemed like too much.
No, you have this offense. Kirk Cousins, you can't be an offense where you just drop back because the defense will start blitzing. You have to run the ball well.
I know. Because then that opens up the play action.
So that to your point, you said earlier after you saw that first drive, maybe that it was bad because that right off the bat put the Vikings offense.
And you know what I was thinking before the game in my head, and the whole week I've been thinking about? I hope we receive the opening drive. I hope we receive. Take the game to them, and that's what we did against the Packers. And I knew when they got the ball, I was like, oh, now they're setting the tone. Great.
Yeah, I mean overall it was a Kirk Cousins check down game. And I've been a backer of Kirk Cousins in terms of prime time because a lot of the times I think it's not necessarily on him. Tonight, 50% on him. Usually I put less, quite honestly, because I think the defense was so that bad.
He didn't have a good game.
But he was bad. Usually he's not this bad on prime time. It's everything
hate
about
the
the
prime
team.
time thing though. It's like, yeah, right.
I know. That is what is all over Twitter. All these people that I follow.
Yeah, and
like,
they
that
don't
aren't
know.
Vikings fans.
That's why I wanted to win tonight, to shut everybody up.
Yeah.
The people who would rather see the team lose so that they can bitch about it on Twitter than see them win.
Optimistically speaking, if we get later in the season, he'll have another opportunity. Thanksgiving night against the Patriots at home. That's a primetime game. Kirk Cousins. Show up.
I have an exercise.
You are, yeah.
Let's go through the next games. Lions 2-1, right?
Yep. Well, that's gonna be close, but yes.
We're at home.
Yeah.
The Saints
in London, the Saints.
in London at 8:30.
I like a win there.
Bears win at home.
Yeah.
At the Dolphins.
That is probably a loss. The way this defense is, they're slow and old, and those young, fast receivers, Tyreek Hill, that's a loss. They are not winning that game if they played the way.
So 4-2.
Yep.
I still think we win. Cardinals at home. That's a win.
That's tough, but yeah.
No, that's a win.
That is a high-scoring game. The Cardinals' defense is bad.
Yeah, the Cardinals suck.
All right. At Washington.
So what is that? That's
tricky
5-2.
Game.
That's
tricky
5-2.
Game. Yep.
At Washington, 6-2.
No, did you watch this team tonight?
Well, listen. We lost because of Jalen Hurts and a great defense.
Oh,
who's
come
Washington?
on.
Who's Washington's quarterback?
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, 6-2.
I don't know.
Bills,
I'm getting scared. This team was bad tonight.
Bills will go 6-3.
Yep.
Cowboys at home 7-3.
I'll
Redemption
give us a win
for last year. Patriots at home.
Actually.
Patriots at home 8-3 on Thanksgiving.
You know, there are such things that there is such thing as the Vikings having bad games and losing to teams that are worse than them. That does happen.
I've given us 2 losses. Vikings at Jets at Vikings. What are we at? Are we at 6-7-3, 8-3? We're at 8-3. Jets at Vikings 9-3.
Yep. Vikings at Lions.
Vikings at Lions. Should we throw in a loss?
I was just gonna say you have to throw in a loss to a bad team. It's gonna happen.
Throw one in. All right, 9-4, I guess. The Colts at the Vikings.
We'll win that one. Although Jonathan Taylor's gonna run all over us.
10-4. Giants at Vikings. That's a win. We're not gonna lose that.
Yeah.
What is that? 11-4.
Sure.
Packers on New Year's Eve. I don't know. Should we just throw in a loss?
This is all on you. I don't agree with a lot of this.
All right, I have the Vikings getting to 13-4 this season.
Jesus, Martha.
What?
After that performance we just witnessed.
Yeah, it's called week 2.
I know, but things from here are more likely than not going to stay the same. They're either going to go like this or they're going to go like that. It's just which one.
I could end up looking like an idiot, but I think that the reasons I mentioned about it being Monday night at Philly and their home opener, I seriously think that is just a huge wash of a game.
That defense was bad.
Well, they kind of turned it around.
That has nothing to do with the crowd.
The
Eagles stopped playing offense.
It did have to do with the crowd. It did. Are you telling me if that game is in Minneapolis that's the same result? Yeah.
No,
right.
But they lose. They still lose.
Okay, but I'm just saying a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean the Vikings had every opportunity to make that close, and it was still a 17-point game. And so that was a bad game. It was a catastrophe. But
yeah, that was hard to watch. It really was.
And yet you still have them going 11-4.
No, 13-4.
Oh my god. So you all right. Well, I like your belief. I think
Why
Kevin
don't you go
O'Connell's
through yours then?
all right.
I mean, look at the schedule.
This has to be horrible to listen to, but I'm going to go.
It's a favorable schedule.
They're going to beat the Lions. They're going to beat New Orleans. They're going to beat Chicago. They're going to lose to Miami, lose to Arizona, beat Washington, lose to Buffalo, lose to Dallas, beat New England, beat the Jets, beat Detroit, beat Indy, beat the Giants, lose to Green Bay, lose to Chicago.
What is that, 10-7?
I don't even know, but yeah, it's probably about 10-7.
No.
This team tonight showed me 10-7.
Not.
They can't play defense. You can't. I don't even know what you can change from this besides playing more aggressively. So bring back Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer's defense would have done much better than this. Last year's defense.
Oh no, they would have done so much worse. They would have done so much worse. Yes.
You can't be worse.
Think about the amount of points that this team would have put on last year's defense.
I've already said this. If the Eagles kept trying in the second half on offense, they would have put up 45 points. They stopped throwing the ball.
I can't believe you have us going 10-7. No chance.
I mean, if
chance. A couple of those losses you gave us, like
Arizona, losses that
Arizona
could happen.
And Chicago.
Arizona, I don't see us stopping Kyler Murray right now.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't.
You
even
see
care
this
about
defense
football.
stopping him?
He hates his teammates.
He came back from $1 million
he hates
yesterday.
His coach. No chance.
They just beat the Raiders in Oakland or in Las Vegas.
No chance.
Interesting. Well, we're on different wavelengths. Usually I'm the positive one and you're the negative one. But
Seriously?
I am always people always get mad at me for being too positive.
No, I know.
But this game I watched tonight was so bad.
Well,
I still have them having a winning
You were being
record.
too positive about Dantzler earlier today. And that was irritating.
I was just pointing out everything. That was early in the game. My mind was clear. I still had optimism about winning the game. I'm backing Cam Dantzler for that one because that is what everybody on defense was doing, letting guys wide open. Patrick Peterson can be called for it. Cam Bynum. By the way, Harrison Smith was in concussion protocols, so that's not good. I don't know if Lewis Cine and Cam Bynum are the two safeties.
Shit, like what if like the Lions are like good next week?
Well, yeah, I was going 10-7, and that is probably optimistic to a lot of people.
Oh my, 10-7 being optimistic with this team?
Mm-hmm.
No chance.
Yeah. You watch this game?
Yes, and I think that am I gonna have to say it again? There are a lot of factors as to why we lost tonight.
Defense not playing aggressive, Ed Donatel not making adjustments, Kirk Cut the offensive line not being able to hold up.
It wasn't a great game from Ed.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a great game for anybody.
It wasn't a good Ed game.
Anybody. Ryan Wright had a great game punting the ball.
Who did have a good game?
Ryan Wright.
Seriously, did anybody? I don't think so.
I
mean, Irv Smith.
No, he had a bad game. That's a bad game.
The biggest play of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a bad game. Dalvin probably had one of the worst games. I mean, he was bad. He only had 6 carries, which tells you a lot because
he slipped on a very important play.
He's one of the best players, one of the best running backs in the league, and he only got 6 carries. So next week, I bet you he's going to get at least 20.
What about Thielen not getting a carry or the target until the fourth quarter?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. When you have Justin Jefferson, last year I'm guilty of being one that would say, feed Justin Jefferson, just throw it at him. I don't know if you can do that because now he's getting so much attention. Teams are going to be freaking double and triple covering him. You have to look for other guys. And that one scoring drive they had, they were doing that. They threw it to Johnny Munt, who had a horrible drop in the second half. They threw it to Irv Smith. They threw it to KJ Osborne.
Yep.
I mean,
well,
you have to throw it to other people.
How about
sometimes.
the pass interference that didn't get called in the opening possession?
Yeah, that was bad.
That sucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's this ref, Steve Novak and his crew were so bad. They came into the night looking for an eligible man downfield. I mean, that's what they
came in
about.
Trying to make it about them.
Yeah. Well, it's quite easy in my opinion whether this Vikings offense succeeds or not. Does Kirk Cousins have time in the pocket?
I think I might have to just stay off of Twitter because there are just so many people that bother me.
I haven't been on Twitter since the end of the game, so I don't know. I'm going to tune into Vikings Vent
Line with Mackie and Judd after this just to see what they're talking about. They are about as negative on Kirk Cousins as anybody, so I'll be interested to see what they have to say. I hope they.
Why?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think about all this. Yeah, it's easy. It's actually easier to get over this type of game because it's so early in the season, and there's so many unknowns.
It's kind of a tough break that we got this game week 2.
I was looking for. It's a fun game. Vegas played bad, you know. I'd rather. A lot of times people say I'd rather get blown out than lose close. No, tonight I want to lose close. I want to see this team show something. That was so bad that now I have moved their record and given them 2 less wins.
Okay, well, on to Sunday at 12 against the Lions.
What a fun game! Jared Goff and the kneecap biters are coming to town.
We just need to focus on getting a win.
Give me one positive statement to leave the show on.
I think that's both Kirk and JJ's worst game of the season by a mile.
Well, that's easy. It's quite easy to say because you can't get any worse.
Well, and probably just the team's worst game. So I feel like there's a lot of things to be positive about. I don't think it can get worse than that.
You get back at home next week. You get back on the right foot. This defense has to be better because, there's some quarterbacks in this league where you can just be a team where it just goes into shootouts every week. I don't think Kirk Cousins is that type of guy. I don't think he can be on a team where they try and outscore teams,
I don't know.
Maybe, but you have to have a good offensive line to be able to do that.
I think if you have Justin Jefferson, and Thielen and Dalvin Cook, KJ Osborne, I think you can be a team like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much harder to win when your defense is that bad. And watching this game tonight, I have nothing but to believe that this defense has issues, major issues. And we'll see what happens when Jared Goff comes because they actually are looking like a decent team. They put up 35 against the same Eagles team. They just beat the Commanders. Their offense looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I'm not scared. I'm ready.
Well, I wonder what the line will be. I can't be more than Vikings minus 4.5. If it's
it was
anything
7
else.
Earlier.
Before the game?
Yeah, no chance at 7 now.
Well, now it's going to be probably 2.
Probably 5.5.
I don't know. I mean, if they can't put up numbers against that Lions team, we have issues.
They'll put up numbers. They'll bounce back. Big game.
I think they will.
No, I think they will. If they don't, it's a problem.
But I am extremely concerned about our defense. And that is what I'm going to leave tonight on because we actually don't deserve, the team doesn't deserve to leave on a positive note because that was so putrid. I'm not sure when we'll be back. Maybe later this week to talk about that Lions game, to preview the Gopher football against Michigan State. The Twins are...
We don't talk about them.
Timberwolves Media Day.
Is there any Wolves
Monday, news? September 26th. It'll be interesting to hear all the players talk to the media. Austin Rivers, I want to hear what he has to say. Kyle Anderson, all the newbies. Rudy Gobert, Cat, Ant. What does Ant have to say about what he said? Anthony Edwards, first time talking to the media. D'Lo, all these guys. Finchie, Tim Connolly. I am so excited for the season. And tonight moved my mind further towards thinking the Wolves are the best team in Minnesota.
No, the Vikings.
And if you No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Tell me why.
Because we're gonna go 13-4. And
yeah, that wasn't a good enough reason.
Look, we'll win the North. I don't think we'll have the first seed. I think that I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there right now. Yeah, I think the Vikings are still the best team. The Wolves closely behind.
The Wolves have a high ceiling, and I mean high. Don't be surprised if the Wolves start the season 7-0. You heard it here first. Thank you for listening to the JT Sports Show. The Vikings get killed
in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field, 24-7. We'll talk to you later this week and or early next week. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. We are